tonight, Wendy. Oh my God, Wendy.
Is Wendy Williams finally on the verge of being released from her guardianship? Her lawyer reportedly believes it could happen soon. Today, we're talking about the one and only Wendy Williams and her ongoing battle against guardianship. Let's talk about this because this is a roller coaster of intrigue, drama, and of course, hope. Hey, delightful people. Welcome back to Delightful by Design, where we learn from imperfections and serve up some commentary. Delightfully, of course. No one is perfect, right? So we invite you to subscribe to our channel for updates. And thank you. Now let's dive into this story. The fight for Wendy Williams' freedom has been dragging on for years. Wendy remains under a New York guardianship that controls both her finances and her medical decisions. A judge put the arrangement in place in May of 2022 after her bank, Wells Fargo, raised concerns about undue influence and financial exploitation and claimed she was of unsound mind, according to an article in People. Well, during that time, she was going through a divorce with her husband, Kevin Hunter Sr. She was having health issues, substance abuse, mental issues, and her son's activity on her account, in which we will talk about later.
Situation where Kevin says he wanted to rent a boat for his birthday for $1,500 and ended up getting a boat that rented out for $113,000.
Jesus.
And he blamed it on the bank, that the bank wanted him to have that. That never really made sense to me.
Kevin Hunter was filing this lawsuit claiming to represent you.
I had no idea.
And
Nor do I want him to be a part of my life like that. No.
why?
Because I'm divorced forever.
And so this lawsuit that he's filing for $260 million,
Uh-huh. Well, you know, he's a money grubber. He's always been that way. Look, I don't want to say too much, you know what I'm saying? But it's good to know that he's doing such evil things again. He won't win.
Sounds pretty sharp if some of the question is whether she's sharp or not.
However, a bombshell article reports an independent neurologist in New York ran due tests in November and concluded Wendy does not have frontotemporal dementia, the same condition that helped justify putting her under guardianship in the first place. According to TMZ, now Wendy's legal team says there's a real timeline on the table for when she could be freed, and it's soon.
Tell me what your life has been like over the past year. What is it like?
Isolated. Where I am is this place where the people are older, you know what I'm saying? They are in their 90s and their 80s. I eat lunch and dinner in my bedroom. I don't eat out there with the people that live here just because it's so goddamn depressing. There's a bathroom, there's a closet, and the TV, which was purchased by me through the Guardian person.
Okay. She's in a facility a few blocks from here in Hudson Yards, where, you know, she can't just leave and go have lunch with us.
She can't do that.
No, she cannot.
But is she in control of her own bank accounts?
She's in control of nothing.
Zero. Nothing.
She can't leave the facility unless she gets permission. She's on the floor right now with people who are in their 80s and 90s who don't know their names.
Oh, they're finished. I know.
Wendy doesn't need a guardian right now. She may need a sobriety coach, which she's admitted, but even though she's sober now, you know, that's alcoholism is a lifetime disease, right?
Correct.
So that's one. She may need someone to help guide her finances. That's no question about that. And she's okay with that. But she doesn't need someone that tell her when to have lunch, when to go to the bathroom, when to cross the street. She's fine with all that stuff. It is so scary to me because she is basically incarcerated, okay?
Wendy not having frontotemporal dementia is quoted from Wendy herself and her lawyer. No outlet at this point was able to confirm through Wendy's medical team, and that's because of her privacy. Now, Joe Tacopino is a very high-profile lawyer who could probably find a doctor to say whatever he wants him to say. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. According to multiple experts, frontotemporal dementia never gets better, only worse. Yet Wendy has exhibited remarkable neurological resilience since she has been clean and sober 3 years ago, and yet she is still locked into guardianship. Could it be that she received an incorrect diagnosis and it was the drugs and alcohol that caused the disoriented version of Wendy? Or are we now witnessing the progression and the effects of her substance use? I feel like the courts are considering that key word, dementia. And who is going to be there when her condition progresses?
Assured Wendy, by year's end, she'll be out of guardianship.
What's going?
The plan is for Wendy's attorney, Tacopino. He told Nightline that the court-appointed attorney guardianship lawyers have assured Wendy she could be out of the arrangement, quote unquote, by the end of the year. Now, and this was in November. And as of now, I'm reporting this in December, the last day of the year. Joe says that the new report is the backbone of his strategy. He revealed that the guardianship attorney has assured Wendy she'll be out by the end of the year, right? He's re-quoting this. And if the judge doesn't sign off, he plans to demand a jury trial. He said that Wendy Williams does not have frontotemporal dementia. So that should be game, set, match. Joe said the plan is this. There are guardianship attorneys, and we're watching and waiting. And they assured Wendy by the year's end, she'll be out of guardianship.
Assured Wendy, by year's end, she'll be out of guardianship.
What's going?
But is that the only criteria for Wendy to be released from this guardianship? Because you know that they will move the goalpost, right? According to reports and Wendy herself, she's paying about $18,000 a month in her expenses to live where she is living at this point. And without her guardianship, Wendy gets to decide whether she wants to pay more or less for her living expenses. Of course, she would need some coaching and guidings or someone to monitor her addiction and slowly and methodically, because those Kevins, as you know, are around and they're out there waiting. So in January, Wendy called into the Breakfast Club, January of 2025. She blasted the entire system. Okay, she was saying that I'm not cognitively impaired, but I feel like I'm in prison, she said. She called the guardianship broken and described what she labeled as emotional abuse inside the facility that she's in. Let's take a listen.
First of all, to start with, my niece Alex knows a lot as well, you know, but I am not cognitively impaired, you know what I'm saying? No, but I feel like I am in prison. You understand what I'm saying? I feel like I'm in New York City, right? And by the way, my apartment has been sold, thank God, you know, a while ago. But I, you know, I'm in this place where the people are in their 90s and their 80s and their 70s, and even when people are 60 like me, hey, I'm sexy and gorgeous. You know, I am 60. Look, please, July 18th, 1964, honey. But look, these people, I don't care if they're 50 and 60. They have, look, there's something wrong with these people here on this floor. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I'm not saying something bad. I'm just saying that I am with these people. I am clearly not... Look, I have breakfast, lunch, and dinner right here.
Wendy's court-appointed guardian, Sabrina Morrissey, and her legal team continue to fight against ending the guardianship. In November of 2024, court filings obtained by People article, Morrissey described Wendy as a cognitively impaired, permanently disabled, and legally incapacitated. She also argued that the docuseries exploited a vulnerable person. In August, Morrissey's attorney asked the court to extend the guardianship stay through November 3rd. The lawyer pointed to a medical exam that again diagnosed Wendy with frontotemporal dementia and aphasia. The filing said the judge needed more time to decide whether Wendy still requires a guardian, according to People. Why does this matter? Seems like we've been here before. Courts have repeatedly upheld the guardianship due to her dementia diagnosis. Her team has been vocal about challenging the restrictions, publicly citing showing Wendy appearing more active socially and presented her as going out and attending church, fashion shows, and fashion events, and making surprise appearances. Now, this also creates a tension between the medical and legal assessment and Wendy's own claim of capability and autonomy. Wendy is a polarizing figure, but she's also a human being navigating a deeply restrictive system. Wendy is also an addict. There are many addicts that live independently. However, with the amount of money that Wendy has and the vultures, and all of them named are Kelvin, you know, the routine, her having her high all day and stealing her money. There needs to be some type of logical condition in place because of her ecosystem. So completely off the system, there is no one there to really protect her concerns, needs, and resources. As she is aging and with health concerns, she is going to need every dollar she worked for. Do you think Wendy is being protected or controlled? It's the final days of 2025, and do you think that she'll be from under her guardianship before 2026 or early 2026? As this story unfolds, I'm not just watching the headlines, I'm watching the system. Because Wendy's fight isn't just about her, it's about who gets to decide when someone is well enough to live on their own. So let's see what's happening in Wendy's legal sphere. Okay, that's it. And thank you for watching, fam. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments. The drama never sleeps, and neither do we. Catch you in the next one, and bye for now.